Hello out there, and today I am giving my submission to the 3x2 open knife tag. And what that is it's an idea from my buddy Paddy's Potato Peelers, who I actually linked to in my last video, and I'll link it to again down below. And his idea was to have this common tag amongst a whole bunch of different channels, and that way we could find each other a whole lot easier and be able to check out each other's channels and see which ones we really like. Because this is a huge community, and I know that there are a ton of really good channels that I've just never found, and this is one way that, you know, if a lot of people were to take part in this, it could bring us all together. So what I will say is, if you are going to do a knife video like this, definitely just comment down below that you have or that you will, and I will 100% check yours out, and we'll see where it goes. All right, and so the idea here, the 3x2 aspect, is that there are 3 different scenarios. And what are the 2 kinds of knives that you would carry in those scenarios? So for me today, I'm going to be doing my just regular typical EDC. I'll also have an outdoor EDC, and then I will have a gents carry situation. And what are the 2 knives that I'll carry on my person in those situations? And starting with EDC, it actually is a little bit tricky because I only carry 1 dedicated pocket knife at a time. And so my second knife here is just a SOG key knife, which would go on my keychain. You know, my main carry blade represented by the Para 3, which is just a mainstay of my carry. Usually have 1 Para 3 or another on me pretty regularly. So really liking this knife. Definitely one of my favorites for 2017, and Spyderco keeps pumping out more variations. So always excited about that. But then the SOG key knife, I'm just going to take a minute and talk a little bit more about this because I'm not a huge fan of SOG knives in general. Just never have been, haven't been all that impressed with them. But this knife is very cool. All right, I got this as just a little like stocking stuffer gift a few years ago, and it has been just a constant carry item on my keys. And what I really like about it is the fact that it is just a knife. You know, so while I do have a keychain multi-tool, you know, if I have to use a backup knife, this is definitely the one that I go with. You know, it locks up, and it locks up really well, by the way, so it's really strong and secure, and you don't have all the other tools fumbling around. So, I mean, for sub $10, this is an excellent tool to have on you. Also, what I will say is, like, let's say you're in one of those positions where a friend of yours, needs a knife, and they want to borrow your knife. You don't ever even have to worry about, you know, man, am I going to give them my nice one? Which I wouldn't, by the way. But now I have something that I can loan out for like an afternoon, or if somebody's like needing it for a certain task, and not really worry too much about getting it back, because if I have to replace it, it's really inexpensive. So very cool item here, always a good thing for me to have on me. So that is just my regular EDC. And now for outdoors EDC, what I have is the Benchmade Hidden Canyon Hunter and the Spyderco Bird Raven 2. The Hidden Canyon Hunter is probably my favorite fixed blade that I own. S30V, just really handy little tool. Lightweight, it has this leather sheath. But the S30V on it is just fantastic. I've used this really heavily in a number of situations. Like whenever I go on just like a day hike or something, it's something that I have on me. And yeah, just one of my most trusty little fixed blades. And then this one is basically like my yard work folder. You know, and if I were going on a day hike and I am outside carrying this, I'll still have a folder in my pocket, and it will most likely be this. The Bird Raven 2, just a really big and overbuilt, sturdy knife. CTS BD1, so not a premium steel, but a really good user steel that you can beat up. And I've really beat this knife up. You can actually probably see from here, there's still some nicks in the blade because I really hold nothing back with this one. But there's a lot of milling and some good G10, so ergonomically it's very comfortable. And that's one of the main things when I'm using a folding knife outdoors is, you know, I would never go with like a titanium frame lock or something like that. I want G10 that's going to give me a good grip, and a knife of this size, if I am wearing gloves, is still really easy to actuate and use. So that is why I go with that. Also keep a lanyard on it just in case it does get dropped on the ground outside, which has happened quite a few times. And now finally getting into my gents folders. All All right, and usually in a gentleman's carry situation, I'll still have that one dedicated pocket knife. Here we have the Kershaw Sapphire, which I'm really glad to be doing this video because it's an excuse to get this knife on camera, which is it's awesome. It's just one of my most beautiful knives. I really like it. And Os 8, long discontinued Ken Onion design, but just classy looking titanium. And yeah, really good gents folder, but also just a very good knife in terms of use. So a good lightweight EDC as well. And a lot of times if I am in a gents situation, I'll have the knife in my pocket, which would be this. And then if I'm wearing like a jacket, I'll put a knife in my jacket pocket. And so if I am ever going to carry a slip joint, that's probably where the slip joint would go, you know, in my jacket pocket or just a backup pocket. And so that's what this Victorinox is. And again, I'll always have my my keychain multi-tool on me, my Leatherman Micra, so I don't really need all the bells and whistles when it comes to a Victorinox knife. You know, so all this one has, and I'm not sure the actual model name, but all this one has is the blade. So that's all there is to it. Nothing really fancy, but just a good backup to have in that situation. All right, so gentleman's carry, just very sleek and nothing too much, just straightforward and ready to get the job done, but still pretty classy looking as well. So those are my 3 scenarios. I guess I'll just bring all the knives back in if I can squeeze them into frame. One more quick little look at everything. Yeah, so that's all of it, and this was a really fun video to do and a fun thing to imagine. So like I said, if you are going to do this or have already done it, let me know down below. I'll check out your channel if I haven't already, and yeah, it'll be a good time. So thanks for watching. Thanks again to Paddy's Potato Peelers for the great idea. But any other questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, you know where to reach me, and I will talk with you soon. Have a good one.